I'm looking at the latest Good Housekeeping magazine, and I just started it, honestly, but I have a couple of observations to make already. They're getting the Easter stuff out here because Easter's at the end of the month. These cookies, I thought, oh, those look like really cute cookies to make. And so it says spring sandwich cookies, and they're topped with lemon curd. That's what that is. Well, to make those cookies, I looked at the recipe, you have to find that little egg-shaped cookie cutter. And it doesn't look like it's a big egg. It looks like it's tiny, like a little, I just don't know where you would get a little egg cookie cutter. Like that looks like it's the actual size of an extra large egg. I've never seen a cookie cutter that size. So anyway, won't be making those. These look good, these quiches. And they have like three or four different flavors. But that is not why I have you here, why I want to talk to you. I got to this page and it sparked a memory. Kevin and I, at the end of March, we'll do a video about the TV shows and movies we've been watching, and we worked our way through Candy. Now, I had already watched Candy, but I wanted Kevin to watch it. So, Candy is about this lady, her name is Candy Montgomery. I won't get into it here, but anyway, she made for dinner one night, she made fried spaghetti with scrambled eggs. Like she was frying the spaghetti in the pan, and it looked like she already had the sauce in it and everything, like the spaghetti sauce. But then she added egg to it and like scrambled the egg, and then she served it for dinner. So it was scrambled egg with spaghetti. I have never heard of that in my life. I have never had spaghetti with scrambled eggs before. So this is different because this is spaghetti with an egg on top, but I've never seen this combination before. So, and I know we eat breakfast for dinner all the time. It's something we really like. But I guess because it's Easter and eggs are popular, they're doing eggs on everything in here. But I have never I've never seen that in a restaurant. I've never heard of anybody serving that at their home. My mom never made that ever. And so I'm wondering if any of you all have ever made it or been served that, or do you find that bizarre, egg and spaghetti? Because it sounds kind of odd to me. We were just sitting here talking, and I reached over, I took my hand and I reached over and I grabbed Kevin's leg, and he said, don't tickle me. And I said, oh, that tickles? And he said, yes, and I hate that. He said, I hate being tickled. Well, number one, I hate being tickled too. But you said something. You said,
I said, that's the crap my dad used to do.
Crap my dad used to do. And I said, you know what? My dad used to do that all the time too.
Reach over and squeeze right above your knee and squeeze, and it's tickled, but it's annoying. It's almost painful.
We would be sitting in the car, and I would be completely like zoned out.
Yeah, listening to music or whatever.
Looking out the window, right, enjoying the day, and he would all of a sudden reach over. Yes.
Your dad. I know your dad.
Oh,
that's the noise
okay. I was like, how did you know what
That's exactly how your dad would
do that. He went, ha!
Exactly. See, my dad would stealth do it, where you weren't even paying attention. All of a sudden, you got tickled on your knee. It's like, ah!
And you and your little bony legs.
Drove me nuts. I hate it.
Well,
I told Tami, I said, that's one of the things I made sure I never did to my kids, was tickle their knees in the car, because who wants that? It's awful.
No, it's awful to be unsuspecting and somebody to just grab you anywhere that you're not expecting. And I thought of something else that I think, and I don't know if your dad did this, but I was always afraid that my dad, when we would go on vacation and we would go swimming, I was always afraid that he would pick me up and throw me in the pool.
But see, I was always in the pool, so it didn't matter.
I was afraid that he would, or come and dunk you under.
Yeah, my dad wasn't really a dunker.
You know, my dad wasn't either.
I had friends that were dunkers, which
and my dad wasn't either. He wasn't the kind of wrestle in the pool person. No. but there were enough movies and TV shows and
Give him
stuff
an idea.
that I was afraid as a kid from watching that.
Right.
That my dad would be that kind of a dad, because my dad was is still very funny. He likes to joke around and stuff like that, and I was always afraid that he would be one of those people that would do that. Now he didn't.
My dad never did. My dad was more of a get in the pool and learn how to do stuff, swim, handstands, stay underwater, that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. Let's see who can hold their breath the longest underwater, which I think is a good game. I like that game. That's we always did that in our pool.
Mm-hmm. And my mom never got in the water. She didn't like water.
Oh, she didn't like water at all?
No, she was terrified of getting in a swimming pool.
Okay.
I don't know why. Probably because one of her brothers dunked underwater at one time.
I was gonna say, there's a story there.
I'm sure. I never asked for the story. I'm just guessing that she had two older brothers, and they lived in Estill County, which is you can go my way if you can go. Estill County is about as country as you can get, So I'm not insulting Estill County. They all know. So I'm guessing they went swimming in the creeks and stuff and the river a lot. And my guess is that at some point in time she got dumped, and that scared her for life. But yeah. Even when I was a teenager, even she would not get in the swimming pool at all.
So she doesn't know how to swim.
No idea. Well, I mean, I wouldn't think so.
Okay, your dad owned a boat.
Yep.
And they would go camping all the time, and he had a boat. Did she ever ride in that?
She would get in the boat.
She did get in the boat?
Yeah, she had a
life jacket. Right. And you didn't have a life jacket? You didn't wear a life jacket?
I don't remember wearing life jackets.
Because that's one of those things.
It's kind of like wearing a helmet when you ride bicycles back in the 80s. You didn't do that. Your head was good enough.
Or a car seat.
Yeah.
A seat belt.
Or a car seat.
Yeah.
Nowadays you wear a helmet when you ride a bike. Even people that don't want to do it pretty much wear helmets when you ride a bike because they know it can save you. So, I would probably wear a life jacket now if I were to go on a boat. Mm-hmm. I don't remember when we went on that boat cruise out there in the water in Hawaii. None of us had life jackets on.
No, we didn't. I don't think we did. No, nobody was wearing one.
So even the commercial craft, they don't have a life jacket.
I'm sure they have enough on there
for something happened.
Yeah, they would have enough, but then by then it would be too late. If I had fallen out if I had fallen out in the water in Hawaii, well then I just would have been gone.
Yeah, you got to tread.
And then you could probably stand up. If you had truth be told, no. You couldn't have as far out as we were. We were out pretty far. It is amazing. It's amazing. And then we went on that cruise, and you look over the side of the boat, and it's like, it's amazing how deep it is, and you just can't think about it too much because it's kind of spooky, don't you think?
That bothered me.
I loved it. I love looking out at it. It did not bother me at all. That's one of those things. I didn't want to stand and lean over the railing, but to just be close to the railing and look out, it didn't bother me because the water to my eye was like a floor, Right. And so as being somebody who's afraid of heights,
you didn't like leaning over the rail and looking down because you realize how high you were.
Right.
Above the water.
But I didn't mind to be out on the balcony.
Right, looking out.
Yeah, I didn't mind that at all.
Yeah. Me and Ashley would look over the side and she hated it.
I hate when they lean over. I don't like that at all. It just seems like you're asking for trouble. I heard somebody say something on a video, and I'll tell you who it was. I listen. There's a channel I watch. I watch a lot of channels, YouTube channels in the Villages, Florida. It's a retirement community in Florida, and a lot of people have YouTube channels. And one of the YouTube channels I watch, it's Skip Smith, and Skip and Sue were doing their Wednesday porch sitting, and they said something that I thought, and now I'm giving it away on my channel, so I probably shouldn't give it away, but I will, because hopefully we'll never be in this situation again. They were talking about during the pandemic how toilet paper was sold out everywhere. You couldn't find toilet paper, and of course a lot of people ended up,
especially down there in those really populous areas, there were really big issues.
So a lot of people ended up getting, like, what are those, bidets or something like that installed. I hope this guy speeds up in front of me. He pulled out in front of me, and now we're going 38 miles an hour on a 55 road. So, yeah, hopefully he turns somewhere. Farmer Ted. I could go around him right now, but I won't. I'm just going to hope he speeds up. I hate passing people.
I don't think he's going to speed up.
I don't think he is either. Out for his Sunday drive. Anyway, so toilet paper was sold out everywhere. And Sue, I think, is what is the one that said, we found a solution to that problem of the toilet paper being sold out everywhere. And she told what it was. Apparently, they have an RV. And apparently, when you have an RV, you are only supposed to use, or they make, maybe you can use any toilet paper, but they make RV toilet paper.
It's septic system toilet paper.
Well, the RV toilet paper isn't sold in, or that they might sell some in with the regular toilet paper, but they sell a lot of it in the RV section. So, like, even in Walmart, there's an RV section where you get those meals and stuff like that. Well, guess what? They sell toilet paper in those areas.
I bet you they didn't have as much though.
And they found a place. They found some kind of an RV store down there that had, like, they went in there and they had pallets and pallets and pallets of this RV toilet paper because, ding, 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 nobody realized that
it's more expensive too, though, wouldn't you?
It might be, but when there's no toilet paper to be had, guess what? You're going to spend it. You're going to buy the RV toilet paper. If you now, we ain't never had that issue here.
No, I mean, it got low on the shelves where you couldn't hardly find it. They'd get like orders in here and there, which doesn't make any sense because the toilet people said there's tons of toilet paper. We've got more toilet paper than we'll ever need. It's just a matter of the trucking industry was kind of suffering, so the trucks couldn't get to the stores from the toilet paper places to get the toilet paper on the shelf. Plus, the stores didn't have the people to stock the shelves, so that was the issue. It's not that we didn't have any; it was just they couldn't get it to the store.
Right.
So around here, they actually did a pretty decent job of
keeping it we never had an issue, and I'll just go off of that and say something else too. A lot of people are susceptible to fear mongering. I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those people who buys into the fear mongering. I'm just not. So when when you hear somebody say, oh, did you hear pumpkin pie is going to be running really low, so you better get it while you can, or
which they said last Thanksgiving,
or this is gonna, I've heard it about so many things. Oh, you're not gonna be able to get blah blah blah, insert whatever here. They're just playing off your fears, and
now, in
so
some areas,
many people buy into that.
Some areas may have that issue.
We've never had an issue, but I'm not one to buy into all that either.
I'm just saying, some of that might be true in some areas.
And I'm just, any kind of fear mongering, not just about stuff like that, not just about food, any kind of fear mongering where they get on the news or politicians and they try to just doom and gloom. And these preppers, oh my gosh, these people that have YouTube channels, these mega mamas that have basically a grocery store in their basement, or or because of their religion, they believe in collecting all this stuff, all this grocery store's worth of food. It's just not me. I just don't believe in the I don't believe in the fear mongering. I just don't. And it hadn't happened yet, has it? It hasn't happened yet where you've needed to have that grocery store in your basement. So it's like
They're prepping for the day.
they're prepping for the day, but the day ain't gonna come, people. The day's not gonna come. I just don't buy into any of that. But back to the toilet paper. I had there was somebody I know that went into Walgreens during that time that the toilet paper, like people were buying it off the shelf. And this person went into Walgreens because they knew nobody's going to be buying the toilet paper from Walgreens because it's going to be so freaking expensive. Because Walgreens, if you're in another country, is a drugstore. And the drugstore is always going to be more expensive. So this person went back to the shelf and filled a buggy full of toilet paper and got to the front, and the person at the checkout tried to tell them, you can't buy all that. And this person said, the heck I can't. There's no sign back there that says I can't.
Yeah, there's no limit sign.
There's no limit sign, so I can get what I want.
So the manager let him have it.
The manager let this person have it. Let them have it. And this person is still, as of right now, has some of that same toilet paper that they bought from Walgreens because they bought so much toilet paper.
That's funny.
That's the truth. Yeah. And I wonder what kind of toilet paper it was. Because you know, if it is that Scott toilet paper, that is like the worst toilet paper ever.
That's expensive.
It's expensive, and I don't know why people buy it. Why would you buy that? It's like taking a piece of paper out of a notebook and rubbing that on your
Taking a piece of newspaper.
behind. Yeah, it's terrible. But didn't you say that you had family members that used to use stuff like that? Didn't you have outhouses?
My cousins in Urban, Estill County.
Back to Estill County.
Back when I was really young, they had an outhouse.
They had an outhouse.
Yeah.
Did they use?
They don't have it. Well, they might still have it. I don't know now.
Did they use toilet paper or did they use?
They use toilet paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you have an outhouse like that, it's not like a porta potty, right?
No, it's a hole in the ground.
It's a hole in the ground.
It's literally a hole.
So
they sprinkle some, I guess it's lime, or I don't know what they sprinkle on top of it to make it dissolve or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, so it dissolves. Your waste dissolves.
They pour something in there. That's all I know is that they would take something and pour it in there. I have no clue. I was young.
Here's my question too.
And then if it got too full, you covered that hole up and moved your outhouse.
Okay, well here's my question.
Just move it.
If you're digging a huge hole,
Big deep hole,
a big deep hole, and you're putting basically a box on top of it,
basically with a hole in it.
Then what is to keep that from caving in, or is it not that big?
It's a wooden shack with a seat.
It has a floor.
Yeah.
There's a floor and a.
It's actually a building.
Yeah,
but I've never been in an outhouse.
I have once maybe, but I'm thinking.
I went down for the summers. That's all you had was the outhouse.
No. I'm still thinking it has the potential.
I mean, potentially,
to cave in.
Could you fall in? Yeah, you could if the wood was rotted or something. But I mean, you're not. The hole you're digging is only this big.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's only this big.
Could the hole not, with a lot of rain or something like that,
I guess it could.
Could the hole not cave in and that whole outhouse go just skew?
I mean, it could.
I
don't know. I'd never heard that happening, but it's not that big of a hole. It's just a hole.
Okay. So in all the years you knew of that outhouse, did you know of them having to move it?
I don't know.
From one place to another?
I don't know. I think they just always poured stuff on it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
I know the one I knew of never moved. It was like actually attached to the house. It was like right next. It was like the house was here and it was against the back wall.
Right.
I don't remember that one ever moving in probably the 10 years I knew about it.
Right.
The other one that they had for my cousins up on the hill, they had an outhouse, but it was a smaller outhouse and it wasn't attached to anything. It was like in the woods almost. Like you would have
Oh,
to
it
go.
was up in the
You would have to
woods?
go, not in the woods, but you'd have to go out of the house, go across the little driveway they had, and into this really like a grassy area. So they kind of had it separate from the house.
I remember.
You had to walk. That's why you used jugs and stuff in the middle of the night if you had to go to the bathroom.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned the jug because I had a family member way back. I mean, I was little. I'm surprised I even remember this. I mean, I was very, very little. And I had to pee so bad. And it was this family member's place. It was a trailer. What is a mobile home?
Right.
Some people call them. I'm trying to think of another name if people aren't familiar.
But it's a house it's set, so it doesn't.
Right, you don't move it.
Yeah.
But they call it a mobile home, even though it's not mobile. I mean, I guess it could
was
be.
mobile
It
at
was
one time.
mobile at one time. Anyway, I had to go pee so bad, and I was so little, and my Aunt Becky was there, and she said, oh my gosh, this truck's gonna get over right in front of me. She said, you have to pee in this bucket. And I was just absolutely mortified because, I mean, even as a child, I had never
Because you were raised with indoor.
I was raised with indoor plumbing. I'd never done anything like that in my life. Peed in a bucket? What do you mean pee in a bucket? Yeah, and I literally had, because I had to go so bad, I had to pee in a bucket. It was hard to do, I remember, when you're making yourself do something that you're not used to doing. You know, like when you're in the hospital and you feel like you have to go pee and they've got this bedpan or something. It's like, how in the world am I going to make myself do that? Because it's completely uncomfortable and you're not used to that situation at all. I didn't tell Kevin this, but I told you a couple weeks ago, we got a new toilet. And while we had the toilet off, all you have is that pipe in the floor. And it made me wonder, I have seen videos or pictures and stuff of like in India, and when a lot of places there, and I don't know if they're rural or what, or if it's just common, but it's basically a hole in the floor where they go. And so I wonder, would it be like if Americans just didn't, if it's like the same hole, and it would be like Americans just not putting a toilet on there?
I don't know if it's more like an outhouse kind of thing.
I don't know what it's like.
Latrine.
I have no idea what that's like. But when we had that exposed, I thought, oh, is this what that would be like? Like if I stood over that hole, or I don't know if you have to stoop down.
I think they squat.
You think what?
Squat.
Yeah, how do you do that when you're even my age? I don't want to squat now. I can't get back. I wouldn't be able to get back up now. I'd get down and not be able to get back up. But anyway, that's what that made me think of. But anyway, all that to say, I thought when they said RV toilet paper, I thought, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And if that were to ever happen again, to where there was a run on toilet paper, we could get RV toilet paper. I just thought that was brilliant. We're in Walmart and I want to show you, I've never seen these before. They're called clingers. So they're like color forms. So when Beetlejuice came out, it was like 1990, something like that. They had a Beetlejuice color form set. Well, this is like that color form set, except they're called clingers. And so I don't know.
That's the cartoon.
Yeah, the ones that I had, the color forms were from the cartoon as well. But I want you to see something else they have too. They have these things called nooks, and you put them in your bookshelf. So they have one for Gremlins, but then they also have one back there for Jurassic Park. I'm wondering if those other ones are for something different too. There's the dinosaur right there. But then they have these Disney 3 Deep. And so that's for the Lion King. But they have some really neat stuff. This is in the electronics department of Walmart. I've got you zoomed in there. This is in the electronics department. I'm watching a show right now on Amazon Prime, and it's called Expats. And it has, it's a serious show. It has Nicole Kidman though. And I've watched, I think, just the first 2 episodes, but it's really good. I like it a lot because they live, Nicole Kidman and whoever plays her husband, they live in Hong Kong. And so in just the first few episodes, I've gotten to see some interesting things in Hong Kong that I just thought was interesting, neat. So the first thing wasn't that neat. It was just, the first thing I'm going to talk about was kind of bizarre. There is a, it's like an orphanage or something. And this woman goes to use the bathroom in the orphanage. And when she comes out of the stall, there is you see her look in the mirror, and behind her in the bathroom, there are these little short toilets for children, and they're just out in the open. So I thought that was the weird, don't you think that's weird? So like they don't put the children in a stall. The children have to sit out in the open for any Tom, Dick, or Harry to walk in there and watch them use the bathroom.
I mean, maybe it's so they can have more room to help them if they need to.
I think so. I definitely think so. I think there's I think there's a reason, and you need to make sure that they're not playing around or anything like that. But I just don't think, I wouldn't think if you went into a bathroom even at a preschool, I don't think the toilets would just be lined up against the wall and they would just have them out in the open like that. I don't think that would be okay. I don't think they would do that here.
Yeah.
So I thought that was bizarre. But then there were some things that I thought were really neat, and like I said, I'm sure as the show goes on, I'll see more. It's a really pretty city from what I've seen, Hong Kong. It's very there's lots of lights, but it looks like any other big city, honestly.
It's very busy.
Yes, but they go to this market, and there is a market that has like all of these. It's, I guess you would like a kiosk, and they're all down the street. And at this one kiosk, they have bags upon, like 1,000 bags of tropical fish. So each one of these see-through bags is like hanging. They're like hanging all around this kiosk. And it's full of there's like one fish in each bag. And I thought, oh my gosh, how many people do you think are going to buy tropical? Must be a lot of people in Hong Kong buy tropical fish.
You think it's for the koi ponds or whatever?
I don't know. Because when we've seen koi ponds, those have had great big fish.
Yeah, they don't start out very big.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about little fish.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, do you think...
well, if they're fancy looking, though, they would be for koi.
Right, yeah. These are
like fish tank fish.
Yeah, fish tank fish. Do you think that fish tanks are more popular in Hong Kong than they are here?
Who knows?
And when is the last time you knew somebody or heard of somebody that actually had a fish tank?
I don't know if anybody has.
I don't either. I don't know of anybody that has a fish tank.
I do know some people do own them because they take care of the saltwater fish and have to keep it at a certain level and all that stuff.
Oh, I know.
I don't know of any personally.
I know people do it, but because they sell them and stuff. You know, I know people have them. I just don't personally know anybody. And a lot of times you'll see the empty tanks and stuff at yard sales and stuff, because
they bought them and thought they'd enjoy them.
They've tried their hand at it and they realized this is too much trouble. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't Ashley's pediatrician have one in the office out in the waiting room, or one of their, Andrew or Ashley, one of their pediatricians had one out in the office? But I don't think they even do that in doctors' offices anymore.
Unless they were into it.
Yeah, I just don't think anybody wants to take care of that. And you know, if it's the doctor's hobby, well, they can't expect their unless they're going to take care of it, they shouldn't put it out there, because you can't expect for somebody else to take care of your hobby.
Yeah, that's true.
But I thought that was interesting. And then at that same market, they had pets. Like, we would go in a pet shop, and I know, like PetSmart, they do have them like behind a glass wall, but then when you go into that room, they're in cages. These pets were not in cages. They were literally in glass boxes. And I thought that,
like aquariums?
I thought that was the neatest thing that I've ever seen, because it's like you would really have to be meticulous about keeping these things clean. I can't imagine keeping that clean. It seems like it would be quite the endeavor, but it looked neat.
I lost a couch.
It looked neater to see the animals in these glass cages than it did behind bars.
Right.
It looked nicer. So those are the things that I've noticed about this show so far. And like I said, I like it. It's interesting. It's not a fast-moving show, but it definitely
keeps you interested.
I'm also watching a different show. I don't have any thoughts on it. I mean, I like it, but I don't have anything to report about it. It's called Malpractice. And I don't know how many episodes are in it. It's a short series, but it's been good so far. But then also, I don't know why I get recommended random YouTube videos that I do, but there was a guy on YouTube that was doing like a 42,000 piece puzzle, and I thought, I have to click on this. And so
big. It was a big puzzle.
It was look, there's geese. I hope they're careful crossing the street. 3 geese. They're heading towards the road. That's not a good place to be. This guy, he has a huge attic. It looked like it went from one side of the house to the other, and it was big enough for him to walk around in. So he's got a big attic, and he had built this table. It looked like just for this puzzle, and he was. I think this was like the 14th video that he's made. He's apparently making one video a month and showing his progress on this puzzle. And I would go mad.
Oh, it would drive me nuts. Because even working on a small puzzle drives me crazy.
I would go insane. But during his video, he was talking about other people who, so-and-so said she'd worked 3,000 piece puzzle and all this, and I'm thinking there must be YouTube puzzle people.
Probably.
Like people that put puzzles together on their YouTube channel. I tell you what, Ashley could have done that. Ashley, I mean, she could do that now. Ashley has bought some those Ravensburger puzzles, and I don't know how many pieces they are, but they're expensive. They're not cheap puzzles. You know, when you start buying them, even if they're only $20 a piece, you buy 5 of them and you spend $100. So it's not like it's a cheap thing.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do with them once you put them together?
I know. And
I mean, I know some people glue them and put them and hang them or whatever, but for the most part, people just tear them up, put them in a box, and sell them at a yard sale for $1.
Exactly. And that's what Ashley's been doing, is she's been just taking them apart and putting them back in the box and putting them in a closet.
Yeah.
And she may do them. She may do it later. I can honestly say as far as an adult, I have never put the same puzzle together twice.
No.
Never. And you know, that's the kind of thing you do as a kid. You put puzzles together again and again and again, and I don't know that any adults typically do that. Do you?
I've never done
No. I mean, because it's like once you've done it, and I don't know. For me, it's I don't know, but you know, it's going to be a puzzle every time. It's going to be, you know, you're going to have, you're going to still have to look for the pieces and stuff. So it's going to be a challenge every single time. So I don't know why I've never done that before, but I just haven't. So anyway, I thought if any of you all are puzzle people, you'll want to look up that guy because it was a huge puzzle. Somebody was telling me, Kevin and I have been reviewing lately the chocolate melts that are flavored. So somebody said, I don't know where to find those in Walmart, and I don't think our Walmart has them. Well, right now we're in the seasonal aisle. So this is with all the Easter stuff. So you have Easter candy on this side of the aisle, but on this side of the aisle, you have plates and napkins. You have some fun bags, but then you also have these melts. Now these...
They have molds too.
Yeah, they have molds too. So we have told you what you do is you'll melt these and you'll put them in the bottom of these containers. Yeah, and then you pop them out and they look like eggs. So these in particular are not flavored. It just says yellow, lavender, bright white, and light green.
They say vanilla flavor.
Right, vanilla flavor, all of these.
They'll have flavored ones.
Yes, and then Kevin actually found these. These are pretty cool. These you can melt and you can squeeze out the bottom of the bag. So do you put that whole bag in the microwave, do you think?
Yeah, it's sealed and everything. Microwavable, easy to use.
Okay, so we've never done that before. But so this is one place that you can find these, and then I'll also show you another place. Is that a trifle container? Oh my gosh, that is... You have to see this. That is plastic. It says Happy Easter. That is like a trifle bowl. So you could take that to somebody's house and take your dessert and you could leave it there. That's so cute. Okay, I think the sensory hours are over in Walmart. So they've turned the music on. It's really loud. So I'm either going to talk over this or do a voiceover once I get home. We'll see. This is the party stuff. So you have lots of different party items. You might not even know that they sell this stuff. So they sell stuff for bachelor parties. They sell flasks with different things on them. They sell these like gel cups, shot glasses, all kinds of stuff like that. But then they also sell candy that you could have at a party. So these are nice. They have candy tongs, but they have gummy bears, sour gummy bears. They have gumballs, like M&Ms, but they're not called M&Ms. They're not M&Ms, and they're like specific colors. But then they also have the candy wafers.
None of these are flavored.
None of these are flavored. So we must have gotten lucky when we were here before, because these are just these are the Choco Maker brand and different colors, and then these are the Meltums, and even that one says flavored. Those say flavored.
Oh,
so this one is lemon flavored, and this one is strawberries and cream flavored, and they actually say flavored on them. But then the rest of them are just colors, and so you just have to watch which ones you get. So we have, and then look at all the different, like if you wanted to make your own little like Reese's peanut butter cups, then this would be the type of mold you would have. But then they have space, they have mermaids, animals, bears. They just have all kinds of themes. Even like, that even looks like a basketball or something.
No, it's box chocolates.
Oh.
Squares in the rounds.
Okay, I see. Look, shot glass mold. Wonder what you would use that for. But they even have suckers down here. Look at that cup with a straw. It looks like a shoe, like a Barbie shoe. So you can get a lot here that you probably didn't even know that they offered all this stuff. Look, this looks like a cute little jar for your candy like you would get at a store. And then on the other side of us, we have our napkins and plates and table covers and stuff like that. So this is the section where we have found the melts, and I don't know if they are in, I don't know if they're in the baking section or not. Yeah, they have a chocolate fountain. I don't know if these are in the baking section or not. We'll take a look real quick and see if these are available in the baking section. Okay, so now we're down the baking aisle, like the actual chips and stuff like that. And these are the melts that they have in this aisle. So they have the Ghirardelli, but then they have this brand, which is Baked Believe. These are no sugar. And then they have the Lilies, but they don't have those other ones in this area. I have to show you what John sent me from Wisconsin. This was a complete surprise. I did not even know they were making these. So if you all have been watching me for a while, you know that I have an extensive collection of Starbucks mugs that I bought some. Most of them have been sent to me, but there is, beneath this video in the description, there is a list of the ones I have in my collection. But then John surprised me today, and he sent me this one. It is Starbucks Been There Series Campus Collection, which I didn't even know there was such a thing. I'm wondering if this is like a brand new thing that they have started doing. So this is the Wisconsin University of Wisconsin-Madison. And I think that is so cool. Look how pretty the color is. And I'm assuming this is the school color, that red. That is the neatest thing, though. And I had no idea that they were doing this campus collection. So I'm wondering, like, we're the University of Kentucky. I wonder if they have a place over there on UK campus where they're selling the University of Kentucky mugs. But I think that is just the coolest thing. I've said in the past, they should have them for every month. They should have a January, a February. Because think about it, you would give somebody, like my birthday's in January, you could give me the January mug. Kevin's birthday is in June. You could give him the June mug. It would just make a really nice birthday gift, but they've never done that before. So I think it is awesome that they've started doing this. So thank you very, very, very much to John. That noise is our storm siren. So the storm siren is going off downtown, and there must be a storm coming. They're letting us know. So you can see we just have rain right now. Our ladder blew over. But it's been cold, really, so we haven't been out here to... And when has been warm enough, we haven't been out here to pick it up. Yeah, we must have a storm coming. But I tell you what, I don't see anything. The bird on the roof next door doesn't realize that there's a storm coming. But that's what it sounds like at our house. Does your all's storm siren in your town sound like that too? Is it the exact same sound? I'll have to let you know what happens. I'll have to let you know if we get a storm, because you can see what it's doing right now. The wind isn't even blowing. It's just raining. The alarm went off, the storm alarm, like I showed you earlier. It never did anything. It never rained anymore, the wind never picked up. It never did one thing outside. So I have no idea why that alarm went off earlier. So last week on the vlog, I told you about the kids. The grandkids came over and they spent the night and we played games. And one of the games we played was Candyland. And I was telling you how it was me and Gavin and Amelia won that game of Candyland. Well, this is our Candyland game. And I love the characters on this, love the style of it. And so I just wanted to show it to you real quick. This box has been taped up. It's so funny. I have a story about this, and I don't know if I've told this story before or not. Ashley had a friend come over. I still have the insert. Ashley had a friend come over, and this was back when Ashley was little. I mean, she was probably, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. The date is 1984. So if you're wondering what year was your game made, it was 1984. So she had a friend come over, and I told her they wanted to play Candyland out back, and I said, that's fine, you can play Candyland out back, but you need to be very careful. Well, they wanted Kool-Aid, so they had their Kool-Aid. Again, you need to be careful. So what happened next? Her little friend tipped over the glass of Kool-Aid, and so these cards still have pink on them from the Kool-Aid. And I mean, they cleaned it up immediately, but we still have the pink here. And then I'm noticing on the inside of the box, there is still, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there is still a pink tint to that where and you could see the splash marks. You probably can't see it on camera, but where it got hit with that Kool-Aid. So Kool-Aid will stain. It's amazing, but it will stain like that. So you get the cards. And then we always, anytime we get a game, we always get a Ziploc bag and put the pieces in a Ziploc bag. So Gavin even brought one of his games over, and it had lots of little pieces. And when we finished playing it, I got his stuff and I put the little pieces and put them in a Ziploc bag, because I'm thinking, you're going to lose half of those. If that were to come open, you're going to lose a lot of your pieces if they fall on the ground. You'll never get them all. So we always keep ours, unless it's like Monopoly, and Monopoly has like compartments in theirs, like little trays to put them in. Most games don't have that. So why am I showing this to you? The reason I'm showing this to you is because I said we have a card game, a Candyland card game, and we play a match game with it. So now this is 2002, and Hasbro 2002. And we bought these at a place called Joseph Beth Bookseller. So Joseph Beth Bookseller, they're in Lexington Green. It's a bookstore, and these were $4.95. We bought these when Ashley was little. Ashley was very young. She wasn't really, she was out of the match game age, but I thought the cards were cool, and that's why I got them, because I knew that, you know, even as an adult, I enjoy playing the match game. So I wanted to show you. It's funny that these cards, and I always have trouble opening this, these cards match with this board game, with this game. So now if you go on Amazon, there are different styles of Candyland. You can get one that's really vintage. You can get a new style where I mean, the characters look different than the characters on this board. And so it's cool that, like I said, this board is from, what did I say? 87. So this board was from 87. These cards are from 2002, and they still match. So this is what the cards look like. So you get, you have your Candy Castle. Let me make sure I'm getting these. Okay, so you have your Candy Castle cards, and you get 4 of each of these in the set. And then you get, I think his name is Gloppy. Yeah, Gloppy is how I would say that. But I don't want to have the board in there, because sometimes it focuses on what, the camera will focus on what you don't want it to focus on. And then you get, oh, and his name was on there, Gloppy. Yeah, that's his name. And then you get, there's a Plumpy and Jolly. And then you get Queen Frostine, which of course Amelia told me. She said, which one do you like the best? And I said, probably Queen Frostine. Of course, we were going to pick the one with the big dress. And then this is a Lord Licorice. And then we have another Jolly. I'm trying to pick out the ones I haven't showed you. Oh, we haven't seen her yet. Princess Lolly. And then King Candy. And then these are just the Candyland kids. And then we have Mr. Mint. And which ones haven't I showed you yet? I think I've showed you all these. Oh, Grandma Nut. There's Grandma Nut. And I think I've showed you all these. So what we do is we'll mix all these up. So we would just lay these out like this. And we would lay every one of these out. And I did not mix them up. So just now, they're not mixed up at all. But we laid out the whole deck on the table. And then, so until they're all laid out, and then you have to turn over two, and you turn them over completely. So everybody that's playing gets to see. So I got a match, so I would pick these up, and then I would get another turn. So if you get a match, you get to take another turn. So I'm gonna go for two more. Those did not match, so I would turn them over, and then it's the next person's turn. But so I got on Amazon and I tried to find these cards, and I could not find them. Could not find them on Amazon. I'll look again. I'll see if I can find them, see if they're there. But I was just thinking about something as I was going to show you these. These are the cards from the game. You could still play the match game with these cards if you wanted to. Because you would leave out those. But look, you get, there's the same colors. And some of them have two. And that would be even better. Because then you would have to remember, okay, there's a green over there. But this one has two greens. So see, you could still play the match game using these cards. So I wouldn't want anybody to think that they have to buy a special deck of cards to play the match game. And you could still play the match game with regular cards. If you don't have the Candyland, you can still use a regular deck of cards, and you could still play the match game with that as well. I thought that you all would enjoy seeing some of the old Candyland games up until now. I know that I didn't put them all in here, but I tried to put a couple. Candyland, if you don't know, was invented in 1948 by Eleanor Abbott. She was a school teacher, and she made this game to amuse the children on her polio ward. So in 1949, it was actually bought by Milton Bradley, and then later on in 1984, Hasbro bought Milton Bradley. But now we see the 1955 version of the game. So we went from 1949 to jump to 1955. And now in 1962, we went from having 179 spaces on the board to having 134. So quite a few less spaces. I believe the amount of cards, though, has always been the same. They haven't given you more or less cards. In 1967, it was the largest board so far. It had 3 folding sections. It had a plain background, and now it has. It went from having a plain background to having scenery. Then in 1978, the gingerbread man has become a shrub covered in tiny cupcakes. The molasses swamp has changed, and there are some birds along. You get some butterflies with the birds. 1984, this is the version that Ashley has. There are some minor tweaks. The formerly ice cream floats are now the ice cream sea. In 1999, there is a larger board and slightly different character poses. In most cases, the characters have been made more physically attractive, and they are attending to tasks rather than standing and waving. In 1999, we have the 50th anniversary edition. And then in 2002, there is a very creepy, in my opinion, he's a very, very creepy Mr. Mint. Queen Frostine has become Princess Frostine. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. In 2010, it was a cluttered, it's more cluttered, but it's cute. It's colorful. I really like it. 2014, it was just more of a simplistic board. And then in 2021, this is the shortest version to date. It has the fewest number of spaces. It only has 83 spaces now. So I hope you enjoyed getting to hear a little bit about Candyland. I enjoyed just getting to learn more about it, and that it was designed by Eleanor Abbott. I just find that very fascinating. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog this week. We appreciate all the members, and we'll see you next week.